What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S Dot coming back to you with another video. And today's video is going to be a deck profile, my very first deck profile for the BT8 format, and it is none other than Mastermind. The reason why I'm doing this deck profile now is because unfortunately, if you haven't heard by now, the Carta Magica regional is not allowing starter decks. So I think Canada didn't get theirs in time, so of course, or whoever didn't get theirs in time, so of course it's not fair, you know, for some people to have the advantage of being able to play it and others not. So really unfortunate, but hey, my starter decks came in today. I'm blessed to be able to have them. So shout out to my not even local, they're not a card shop, but Card Stadium in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Been going to them since 2003, since I was a kid, 2003, 4, 5. So shout out to them for coming through with the starter decks. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna jump into the Mastermind deck and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm playing it currently. Alright, so of course, you know, we always start off with the eggs. For the eggs, we're going to be playing 3 Digimon from BT3. On deletion, your Digimon, of course, your Digimon, you draw 1, trash 1, classic. And then we have 2 of the new one, Niaromon. So I don't know if I really care about, not want to say care, but really know about the ratios right now. Whether I want to do 3 and 2 of the other way of 3 Niaro or 4 Niaro or not. But the way I have my deck currently built, sometimes I do want my guys to be deleted. And sometimes I want to be able to proactively draw and discard a card. So with Niaro, she's pretty much a Mastermind in that if you have a yellow Digimon in play when attacking once per turn, you may draw a card and trash a card from your hand. So you get to do it on your own terms. Like if you're playing against blue hybrid, you know, of course they trashing your stuff. At least you'll be able to draw, you know, get utilization out of it before they finally get rid of it. So definitely a very nice utility card. Again, I don't know if I want to play 4. Another reason why I don't know if I want to play 4 because against the mirror match and yellow hybrid, which yellow hybrid, if you don't know by now, it won by tiebreakers, but it technically still won the European regional or something, somewhere overseas. So shout out to that guy for winning. But with that being said, yellow hybrid is a good chance for you decking out, so you have to really play Mastermind is like kind of on a clock, because yellow hybrid of course can you know, Susano usually twice per game, and they'll never pretty much deck out. You know, they get to put 10 cards under each time, so you're definitely playing a deck out game, and these force you to potentially deck out faster because this is mandatory. So that's it for the eggs. Next up, we'll start with the rookies. I'm honestly not sure about rookie counts. Of course, looking at Japanese deck lists and then looking at European deck lists and then some other deck profiles and stuff, I'm not really sure on the consensus about you know, the rookie count yet, but my philosophy currently is Tapirmon. I want to be a little bit more aggressive. Of course, so I'm playing 3 Tapirmon. It goes nicely along with the Demi-Meramon, and actually, while I'm playing Demi-Meramon, Tapirmon, I actually might just go back to 4 Demi-Mera and 1 Niaro, because I don't want to Tapir under a Niaromon, because then I won't get that draw 1 and then draw 1, trash 1, you know, unfortunately. So that's actually something that I want to consider. I don't think Niaromon is that like important for the way I have the deck built currently. If I wasn't playing Tapirmon, then I probably could, you know, play more Niaro. So now that I think about it, that's something that I probably do. Anyway, and next up we have Salamon. Salamon, of course, from the new Mastermind starter deck. What this allows you to do is, first of all, it's 2k DP, 3 play cost, pretty standard, you know, for a rookie. And then what's cool about this is you can Digivolve over a yellow or purple egg. So of course we're playing purple eggs and able to facilitate playing a yellow Digimon over a purple egg. So one thing I will say that's very important is a card like not a big spoiler, but purple memory boost. One thing you have to actually pay attention to is if you're going second and they usually give you 3 or 4 memory, if you have purple memory boost and you don't have anything else, you actually want to probably play the purple memory boost before you Digivolve into the Salamon, because of course if you Digivolve into the Salamon first and then you have no other way to facilitate having a purple card on the field to play the purple memory boost because it's a purple option, then you're kind of tight, and then you're like, oh damn, and you know, you realize it after. So learn from my mistakes of order of operations. It's so weird with this deck that you have to even think about doing that. Normally when the first thing you do for most turns is draw, you know, Digivolve a rookie. So that's the case there. So definitely be careful with order operations there. But what's of course the best part about the Salamon is at the end of your turn, this allows you to DNA Digivolve one of your other Digimon on the field with the Digimon obviously that has the stack, and we'll talk more about, you know, DNA Digivolution later on. So we got 3 and 3 there, and then we just have 2 Gazimon. 2 Gazimon is just a pretty much borderline staple for most purple decks in just about any format. Stop Hammer Spark, stop whatever, etc. Stop Alphamon from gaining a ton of memory. You know, Dorumon, putting them Dorumons under and things like that. If they don't have Oriumon to just get rid of a 7 play cost Celeste or whatever, you know, Gazimon definitely gets a lot of value. Stops, of course, all the memory boosts, etc. So just a solid card to have. So currently we're playing 8 rookies, but we'll see here actually coming up. next that technically Gatomon. So getting into our champions, Gatomon, one of the best, if not, well, I don't know. I don't want to always generalize what the best card. Every card in here is obviously a best card if we're putting it in here to formulate a competitive deck, right? So this Gatomon is definitely one of the most pivotal cards, I'll say, in the deck. One of the most important cards in the deck over anything else, because what it allows you to do is one play, it costs 5, has 4k DP. You Digivolve over a yellow or purple Digimon for 3, and on play you may reveal the top 3 cards. Well, not you may, I think you have to. Yeah, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then add 1 purple and 1 yellow Digimon to your hand. So if you add, keep in mind, of course, Gatomon is one of our newest Digimon that has 2 colors. So it's a yellow and purple. Since it's always considered a yellow Digimon, you'll be able to add 2 Gatomons, a Wizardmon, and this, 2 Mastermons, etc. So you get a lot of value off this card. And then also on your turn, when you Digivolve into an Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel, you reduce the play cost by 2. So your Lady Devies, all your ultimates all become 1 to Digivolve. And so if your opponent chokes you, while you obviously don't have a memory tamer, it's always nice to be able to go into this to be able to do some follow-up plays. And then also what the Gatomon does, similar to the Salamon, is it allows you to Jogress at the end of the turn. I'm wondering if I can play the deck without Salamon at all. I've tried even just 2 Salamon. I'm not going to lie, Salamon is nice when it comes up because you won't always obviously have this Gatomon to be able to DNA Digivolve, but that literally does the same thing. So you have 7 sources to be able to try to DNA Digivolve on your opponent's turn. And then ultimately, a lot of times, I'll talk about some things later on where you actually Jogress on your own turn instead of always passing turn to Jogress. So those are always plays to definitely look forward to while you're playing this deck. Next up, we have 2 Wizardmon. It's a vanilla. Main thing is it's a vanilla that costs 2, 6k, very respectable. One of the more generic, just solid. Normally we play some vanillas in a lot of our decks, and normally those vanillas do come up and they're very well off. And yeah, 2 to Digivolve over a rookie, 5 play cost. So if you have to hard drop, it's not the worst thing in the world. And it does have a respectable 6k DP. And one of the most important things is it's a purple and yellow, which automatically facilitates all your options, like your Flame Hell Scythe, your Chaos Degrades, etc. So it gives you both ways to be able to, like I said, trigger your options, etc. So just playing 2 of those, and we're also playing 2 Black Gatomon. So Black Gatomon essentially does the same thing in terms of the color, but also, of course, it has Rush, and having Rush is definitely very important and very pivotal depending on what point of the game you're in. You can potentially attack for game with this. We'll talk about it when I get up to my megas about things I want to potentially do with the deck, but also it has retaliation as well. So one thing I will say, I will be making a BT8 what I've learned so far kind of thing video sometime next week, so be looking forward to that. And what I want to talk about in that video is opponents' inheritables. Now it might seem obvious, and most of the time you do see your opponent checking, hey, what inheritables do you have on your guy and stuff, but also it's very easy to forget too. It's not every day you usually have a Gatomon under your Offaniman or your whatever, and then you're playing against Black War Gray, which is really good against when Black War Gray has the Metal Greymon that allows you to attack unsuspended Digimon. Them when they attack, and then you have the retaliation, that's really bad for them. So it might behoove them to actually attack into security, which is probably not something they want to do. So it's just little things like that that will definitely opponents need to remember. And also, of course, it has retaliation all the time, so you can also ram into your opponent's stuff too. So definitely very solid. Playing 2 for now, of course. And then next up, we're going to get into our ultimates here. So for our ultimates, we're going to be playing 3 of the old school Lady Devi, Grace of Charity. Draw 1 for your Digivolve, and then draw 2, trash 2. And we're playing 1 of the new Lady Devi. Not sure about this one yet. So when Digivolving, you can discard a card from your hand, then reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can add 1 yellow and purple Archangel, Fallen Angel, or Angel from your deck to your hand. A lot of times you don't hit. Of course, you have your Magnus, like what we'll talk about next here. We have the Angelomon, and we have the Magnus. So these are usually your targets. You can also, of course, hit Mastemon as well. She also is 6k as well, so the 6k body allows you, if you're in a situation where you have one of your yellow guys, because sometimes you actually have to Digivolve your Angelomon or your Magna over your champion, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then if you have Flame Hell Scythe to be able to DNA Digivolve on your opponent's turn, this is your only target you can bring back for a purple. So she also comes up there because, again, like I said, she's a Flame Hell Scythe target, so it's something to think about. But generally, the consensus I've seen with most deck lists, and it makes sense because the ultimates obviously facilitate you Jogressing into your Mastermind. So the general rule of thumb is 5 yellows, 5 purples, and then yes, Lucemon Chaos Mode is a purple as well, but it's not one you could just play easily. So I'm playing 3 though right now because of a certain tech that I'm playing, and then I want to focus more on the tamer hate, especially with Yellow Hybrid being as good as it is. Just picking off their tamers and kind of having that war of attrition every couple of turns or whatever, and having extra ones in your trash. And also for one of the megas that I'm playing, I think it's really good to have 3. You won't really this easily could be another one of the Lady Devies, but for now, I've played it like this, and with all the searchability you have between Purple Memory Boost and Gatomon, etc., it's not the worst thing in the world to have it as is. Now, sometimes you do get, I've played, you know what, I've even played 5, you know, actual playable champions, or ultimates rather, and sometimes I still just don't see one, you know, and that's just like RNG of the game, and it just sucks to be you at that point in time. But so 3 loots on chaos mode, if you guys don't know what he does by now. On play, you may, well, first of all, you can reduce his play cost by 3 for every 10 cards in your trash. So in those late games in the mirror match, those late games in the yellow versus yellow hybrid or any other match, you can potentially hard drop this for 8, which isn't bad. And it's pretty much a Gaia Force on a body, which is really nice. And if you get to the point of 30 cards in trash, well, then it only costs 5. And, you know, it's even better. So keep in mind, of course, you can only delete level 6s or lower, or 1 level 6 or lower, or 1 tamer. So, of course, you get a lot of value out of popping tamers. And then, of course, when you bring it out with Mastermind, we'll talk about it in a little while, where you can probably the strongest play in this deck, which is probably one of this very strong play in general in the game currently. But yeah, so that's the consensus right now. 12 ultimates. That's all you really need. I've seen some builds, and I've tried even 11, and I don't know if I missed it or not. I don't think I've played enough games, because honestly, this deck takes a lot of thinking to play, and it's not like a fast deck like Imperial. So, like, I haven't played enough games to be like, okay, yeah, I do or don't like this, or whatever the case is. And we actually, excuse me, my bad, I didn't talk about the Magna Angemons. Well, I guess not a lot to say about him. Very solid target to be able to get off of Flame Hell Scythe. This is a savior. When you have a Hell Scythe in your or in your security, you hit it, and you know you're potentially about to die, and you can bring back the Magna to recover. Playing this to recover, and then Jogressing at the end of the turn with one of your purple ultimates is obviously always really good. So just a very strong card overall. Started with 4. Before was just too much. You definitely don't mind dropping this first turn. I know that sounds crazy, give your opponent 7 memory, but with the power plays that this deck does, it's fine. You know, we even noticed from the security control days how you drop a Magnet for 7 on the first turn. It's like, yeah, let's give you 7 memory, but the way obviously the deck functions, it's not that big of a deal most of the time. So you can also obviously bring this back from your trash to the deck, and then you know play with Mastermind and heal that way as well. So just an overall very solid card to help you stay in the game. And then last up, we have 2 Angemon. So there's Angemon on play. Keep in mind, by the way, it's really cool to note. I mean, I just think it's cool when the purple Digimon are the when Digivolving, and then your yellows are always your on plays. Most of the time, like I've never had to hard drop a Lady Devi or anything like that. I mean, I think maybe I've done it once to end up having a Jogress because I just didn't have like certain pieces in my hand. It's kind of weird, but usually you know the yellow Digimon are your on plays, and what her on play does is that comment was like not that relevant. Just don't mind me. But you play this for 6, and then you -2 security attack on one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's literally just similar to like the old school Angemon when Digivolving. You do the same on one of your opponent's Digimon, and this also allows you to be able to Jogress at the end of the turn as well, while stopping one of your opponent's Digimon from coming at you crazy. So chill. And then in excuse me. Its inheritable allows you to, when you have a purple Digimon in play, give this Digimon security attack +1. So while it's on Mastermind literally has security attack +1. She's a 13k body, definitely swinging for the fences, and you know this helps you speed along the game to progress trying to win the game. Haven't thought about 3 yet. I don't know, but I think 2 is just fine. This also can come back from Flame Hell Scythe. You know, both of the new ultimates, Lady Devi and Angemon, so it's fine at 2. And then next up, of course, we have the big bad chick herself, Mastemon. So this card's insane. What it allows you to do is you can DNA Digivolve 2 level 5. So of course we talked about DNA Digivolve, and I'm sure most of y'all have seen it at this point. If you haven't, just showing you how to DNA Digivolve. You have a Gatomon here, you Digivolved into a Lady Devi, you drew 1, you revealed a Mastermind and an Angemon, you take the Angemon and this to your hand, you play the Angemon for 6, you give your opponent how much memory you're going to give. Let's say you had a memory tamer, you were at 2 when you Digivolved to this, you play this for 6, you put them at 4, and then at the end of your turn you Jogress. Keep in mind when you Jogress, whatever color that the Digimon that your DNA Digivolving into is colored first, is the color Digimon that you have to put on top. So because Mastermind is a yellow-purple instead of a purple-yellow, you have to put the yellow Digimon on top to be able to Digivolve. And yes, it's important because of effects like Source Strip and things like that. It'll matter where cards end up getting stripped or what cards end up getting stripped in that sense. And that's just per rules of the game and how Bandai wants it done. So you Jogress here, and then Keep in mind, you can just Digivolve into Mastermind. She costs 5, so you Digivolve into her for 5, and then it allows you to put any purple or yellow Digimon from your trash into your security, and then you have to shuffle your security no matter what. So of course, good targets that you can put in your security is like Witchmon, which I'm not playing currently, but the Witchmon, of course, has a strong security effect. You can also put another Mastemon or Offaniman or whatever, and what that just does is it puts a 13k body in your security that some decks don't have a threshold to beat over, like Imperial. Like Imperial, they have their fighter mode, and if they don't have a Dino beat under it, which makes them 15k, a lot of times they're at 13, and when they go swinging, there's a high chance they could be hit into this Mastermind and, you know, end up crashing there. So you put any color purple Digimon, or any level yellow or purple Digimon on the top, but you will not be able to use the second effect unless you Jogress. So when you Jogress, you're able to do the same thing, and then you can play a level 5 or lower purple or yellow Digimon from your security and put it to the field. So of course, the most powerful way, the most powerful Digimon that you can play off of this usually is the Loosemon. Sometimes you will need to get back Magna, because Magna will allow you to stay in the game, and you might need the extra security because they might, you know, X antibody might have a bunch of security checks plus Grumble for games, so you have to like be careful, things like that. But most of the time you got the Loosemon, and what Loosemon does is it allows you to pop out obviously a level 6 or lower, and then a Tamer, and then she gets to delete whenever a card is played by a card effect, all turns, not once per turn by the way, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon that have a level equal to or lower than the Digimon you played. So obviously Loosemon's a level 5, you can delete a level 5 or lower, and the value you get out of this is insane. You can delete a whole armor, so like, you know, when they armor purge and they can detach or get rid of the top source and keep the rookie, well, Loosemon can kill the Flame Dramon, and then Mastemon after that can target the rookie under it just to get rid of it totally. Of course, one of the other better things you can do is just pop a Tamer and then let the Mastemon pop a Digimon. So just getting that like +2 like that is just so insane. Very strong card, and not much more to say about it. Like I said, 13k body, and of course this is the reason why we play the deck. Very, very cool card. So we're just playing 3, and we're playing 3 for a reason. We'll talk about that, of course, here in a little while. Next up, we are playing 1 Offaniman. So 1 Offaniman, I don't know if I want to play 2, and again, because of the 1 card that I'm playing, it's another reason why I'm not playing 2, but this card is obviously very strong. It's another reason why we play the Wizardmon, etc., because Wizardmon is both a purple and yellow. Decks like Yellow Hybrid can only get the heal. They can never get the deleted Digimon, and obviously with the Wizardmon, or whatever you Digivolve to, a lot of the time you should have a purple and a yellow, so when Digivolving, you can recover 1 for the yellow, and then you can delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon with the purple in the source. And then of course on deletion, you can play a level 4 or lower purple or yellow Digimon from your trash. So getting back Gatomon will be good. Getting back even Black Gatomon, depending on, like, let's say you attack into your opponent's, you know, security and it dies, and then okay, you got to check there, get out Black Gatomon. Black Gatomon has rush, attack again, which is really good. And last but not least, for our last mega, we are playing 5 total. Of course, the 3 Mastermind and then 1 Offani. We are playing a Creepymon. So Creepymon is a card that I saw teched in a couple of decks, and I think it's a good call right now because of potential mirror matches and Yellow Hybrid. Again, Yellow Hybrid winning, especially NA. Whenever NA sees a first place deck list, a lot of the time they just copy that deck list, which is fine. It is what it is. You just got to know what you end up dealing with, and this is just like a tech for the moment because of what's going on. So Creepymon, of course, is the less sought after secret rare. Actually, both secret rares are not anything that you need 4 of right now, you know, currently in the set, unless you're playing a Creepymon based deck. But this card is really cool because when Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck for each of your opponent's Digimon, and then if you trash 4 or more this way, you can play a level 4, 5 or lower purple Digimon from your trash. So that's one of the other reasons why I'm playing 3 Loosemon Chaos modes, because it allows me to just play this for 3, because most, you know, all my other megas cost 4, but when you have your Memory Tamer and you're at 3, you can just play this, keep your turn, bring back a Loosemon, pop something, get an attack with this. And what this also does is, for every 10 cards in your trash, you may top the you trash the top 3 of your opponent's security. So if you have 20 cards in trash, you make them discard 6 or trash 6 from the top. And what's important about that is, especially against Yellow Hybrid, they only play 2 Susano. So if you trash a Susano, that's one, like, normally that's how they beat you, because they're able to Susano and keep you off the board and probably either threaten game to you because obviously he has security attack +2, or they're able to just deck you out because they just put 10 cards back. So if you can like get rid of one, which is nice, or like you can just make them deck out and they can't get rid of this, you're in there. So, and then also it gains +3k attack when it trashes as well. So I don't know how good it is necessarily yet, but I know what it's there for. Shout out to Ying's deck profiles. He also had a version where he played this as well, and I think it's a good call for now. So we'll see how it goes. And then last but not least, for our Digimon, we are playing 2's worth of defeats. I think more than 2 is just asking for like to see them all in your hand, and yes, they're pretty cards, but you don't want to see them in your hand. Of course, you want to see them in security. Maybe I take that back. You would like to see 1 in your hand to Digivolve over one of your, of course, megas here. But this card is very great to keep those tamers in check this format, and of course, his undeletion effect is always nice. And this is one of the few cards that will get rid of Susanoo-mon, because most of your cards in your deck cannot. So that's it for the Digimon. Next up, we're going to talk about the other options, 3 from the from BT8 itself, and then we got 2 from the starter deck. So we got 3 Flame Hell Scythe and 2 Chaos Degrade. At one point I wanted to play like 4 and 3, but with the way I have the deck set up right now, I'm only doing 3 and 2. Chaos Degrade I feel like is minimum at least needed at 2. So let me talk about this card. First of all, most people don't like this card. Y'all are crazy. This card is insane. Yes, it costs 8. So does Gaia Force. So does a lot of other cards that we play. So does Dead or Alive, etc. By the way, we're playing 2 Dead or Alive. This card allows you to have knowledge of knowing what your opponent's security is at one point, and it literally gets rid of any card in the game. With memory efficiency, even if the worst you have to do is like draw for turn, you have a Wizardmon in the back to facilitate this card because it's yellow-purple. You literally play this for 8, you give them 5, but you get rid of their Oryumon, you get rid of their fighter mode, you get rid of their Susanoo-mon, you literally get rid of any Digimon in the game, and there's no card in the game that currently protects from this. Breath of the Gods doesn't, Oryumon's effect doesn't, Dora Greymon's effect doesn't. I already said Breath of the Gods. There's literally, like I said, nothing in the game that protects from this card, because the card, Blitz Omni is one of the main, protectors. That, yeah. So this card gets rid of everything in the game because it puts it to the security, not the hand or the deck or wherever. So really strong card. I would like to play a 3rd one actually, so I might configure the build and take out a Dead or Alive, which means I'll probably take out a Loosemon, and I don't know. We'll see what ratios end up coming like. I feel like with the Dead or Alive, I'd like to have at least 2 Dead or Alives to 2 or 3 Loosemon Chaos Modes. I don't know if that ratio is correct or not. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just got to see how I feel when I play. If certain situations be like, all right, dang, I wish I had more of this or that. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of hard to tell, to be honest. Or y'all comment down below. Let me know you got your playstyle and your ratios with it, and help me out, because I'm not 100%. But yeah, I think this card is strong. Of course, insecurity is not the greatest, because when you play this, I mean, I guess we'll talk about it because it's a new card. My bad. I got so excited, like, talking about how strong this card is. When you play it from your hand, you may place one of your opponent's Digimon to the top or bottom of the security stack and then trash the top. So most of the time, you usually go put it to the bottom, you know what it is by the end of the game, and then you trash the top, which is usually great value. Now, when you hit it from security, there are sometimes you actually need to pay attention. You actually might want to put it on top, because let's say I've had a couple times where they attack with a rookie, and this is my first check, and I'm like, that's the worst Chaos Degrade ever. But you know what? You can put that on top, and then now your Wizardmon can literally just get that chip and just get rid of it. Now they're back to even, sure, and they recovered one, but the deck is so slow. It's not like Imperial where you're like going for gains super fast or anything anyway. You're a slow roll, kind of like punish your opponent. What's the word? Degrade your opponent. Degrade, get it? Degrade your opponent throughout the match kind of deck. You're not like I said, a fast-paced deck at all. So I think this card needs to be a 2 of minimum, because against Oryumon, you're tight without this card. You're playing 4 Dead or Alives, or 4 Scythes and 2 Dead or Alives, and you literally cannot get rid of Oryumon. It restands every turn because of Osaryumon, because it gives it reboot, and it's usually 14k, because if they have a UG, they're going to make sure to try to put a source under it every turn to trigger its effect to get plus 2k, and then it can't be deleted or whatever else it can be. They need nothing that your deck can do, and sometimes it's even 15k if they have a Darugamon under it. So I think this card is necessary at 2. We already know what Dead or Alive does. Very strong card, obviously insane with Loosemon in the trash. You are able also to bring back Lady Debbie's as well, if you don't have a Loosemon. And then Flame Hell Scythe, this card is great. Obviously one of the strongest cards against Armor Rush or anything armor in general. It could, because the DP minus carries to the Digimon that they purge. So getting rid of that totally and bringing back any of your, Gatomon, whatever, to facilitate is very strong. And that's probably why I really need to try to fit 4 in here, because seeing this card in security is just one of the best security checks in the game right now currently. And then this is the reason why we're playing 3 Mastemon and we're only playing 1 Offani, and then we have the Creepymon, because depending on what point of the game we get into, in the grind with Yellow Hybrid or the mirror match, might be able to just get one of the playing this card makes this the 4th Masty. Playing this card makes this the 2nd Offani. Playing this card makes this the 9th rookie, etc. You see what I'm saying? Well, yeah, I guess the 9th rookie if you have a purple in the trash. So and of course this card's just broken because you don't actually have to delete a Digimon to add 2 cards back. So I like this card currently based off where the format is currently, and yeah, so that's really not much else to say about that. Next up, we're playing 2 purple memory boosts. This card also acts as a 9th rookie, a 4th Mastermind, etc., whatever the case is. You're digging 4 cards, a 5th Gatomon, you dig a 5th and 6th Gatomon, you dig into your deck, obviously, to grab a purple Digimon. Of course, you can grab a yellow or purple Digimon. Very strong card. I actually, speaking of, with this and Reinforced Memory Boost, I like to conserve these, unless you truly have to. Don't waste these cards, because remember earlier in the deck profile when I talked about sometimes you're able to Jogress on your turn? Well, like if you have a Digimon in Raising, like a champion in Raising, and then you have a Gatomon, you might be able to like play the raise the champion, Digivolve over your Gatomon for 1, and then like Digivolve over your other guy for 3, and then you actually probably keep your turn, and then, you know, Jogress on your turn, pop stuff, attack, because sometimes you want to be able to attack and like facilitate getting some early damage in with the Angewomon, the security attack +1. So just be careful with using this card. I think that's the ultimate best way I could put it without getting into too much detail. Use it to your discretion, but like I said, hold on to these cards, because a lot of times you'll wish you had the memory, and you can actually do a lot of stuff, like I said, on your turn instead of always passing turn or whatever, because a lot of your cards, of course, are high costed cards. Then last but not least, we are playing 2 TK, or 1 TK. I'm about to call him TK Kari. Shout out to TK Kari, a card I was considering, but I'm playing 2 Kari and 1 TK. So TK facilitates, like, sometimes, like, if you see this one or you hit it in security. Now I will say, if you hit it in security, it is a little scary, because you're not obviously all playing all yellow Digimon, or all yellow Digi or cards in general, so it could potentially be bad. I had one situation where the second to last check was a TK, and I'm like, oh my god, please let this card be yellow, and luckily it was a yellow, so I was able to recover. But this is obviously TK is doing what he always does, being a consistency card, and it's really nice. And then this Kari is what makes some of your high costed cards cheaper, because like Reinforced Memory Boost becomes 5, your Magna becomes 6, your Flame Health Life technically becomes 5. When a card is added to your security stack on your turn, you can suspend this tamer to gain a memory. So with that, I actually might end up just playing 3 Kari and call it a day, or I might actually see how I feel with just 2 Kari and keep space for another card. I don't know yet. We'll see, because maybe if I want to play another Chaos Degrade, this is probably one of the first cards that might come out for another Chaos Degrade. So, and it's a memory tamer, of course. One of the first memory tamers that's just a straight up common, no rare or anything. So kind of weird, like with the blue TK. But anyway, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys learned something, guys and girls learned something. I love this deck a lot. This is one of my favorite decks of the format. Of course, with Black War Gray, be looking forward to a Black War Gray deck profile coming from me sometime next week. I have like I said, what I've been learning about BT8 video kind of coming up as well, and just a bunch more content for y'all. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate y'all being here for as long as y'all have. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel and click the notification bell, so whenever I post a video, it'll drop right on your phone, be like, oh snap, S-Dot got a new video. You can click right on it and come support your boy. So without that, or excuse me, with that, I'm gonna head up out of here. Y'all know what it is. Y'all have a great weekend, and this is your homie S-Dot. Get both muscles in there. Show homie S-Dot heading out. Peace.